Hello, everybody. It is a Friday, and welcome to Spend Lunch with Jew. I am so glad you are here. Um, could you turn the monitor on for me so that I could see? I'm so glad you're with us. So, I want to know. I can't quite see it because my monitor isn't on, but I want to know where are you joining in from me from, and what are we eating for lunch today? It is Friday, guys, and I want to know how has your week been? I have had a very interesting week. Um, it's like from Monday of this week. Um, Today has been good. Today has been a good morning so far. Praise Jesus. But we have definitely had some interesting events happen this week, and so be it. It is what it is, right? It's life. And sometimes you just have to roll with the punches. So I want to know, have you guys had a good week? Have you guys had an interesting week? Tell me. Because we are walking into very soon. Next week is Thanksgiving. And so I definitely want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about us going into the holiday season. How are you guys feeling? A lot of times uh, for holiday seasons, it can feel it can feel very different for some people. So, for example, some people have mixed feelings. They're filled with grief or anger. For some people, it's a celebration and a joyous time. Like, I love it. But then there are some people who just they don't like it. They can't wait till it's over. So anyway, hi Netters, I see you. Hi Davidson. Hi the Jew crew. How are you guys? So I'm super glad you're here. I got my monitor up, so now I can see you. Your week was interesting for you too. Yeah. Hi AP V Blaze. I see you. Hi Creative Heart. I think my monitor is in the way, but no. It's all good. Hey, production crew, they're giving you shout outs to the production crew. Maybe if you move it to the right a little bit. Yeah. You had an emotional week. Yeah. Maybe we have to turn it a little bit, like angle it. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's great. That's great. An emotional week. Yeah, I get it. It's been really interesting, and but I pray that these next coming weeks, as we go into the holidays, maybe if we get around some family or some good family, hi Tanya, we could maybe they'll brighten up for sure. So tell me, what are you guys eating? I'm going to tell you what we got. What are you eating? What are you eating today? I want to see in the chat, what are we eating? Hi, Lorinda. Hi, Margaret. Um, I am eating today. All right, I'm gonna wait for it to pop up. Um, oh, Tanya, could you just say a quick prayer for me? I've decided to quit smoking weed as of today. Good job. Yes, Tanya, let's go. Let's go. Father, we ask that Tanya stay committed to her discipline, to her decision. God, I pray that you keep her even when she feels like going back to it. God, let her know that you are her reprieve, you are her comfort. Give her healthy habits to go to versus a bad habit. Let you be her coping mechanism. Good job in Jesus' name. Amen. Good job, Tanya. So proud of you. And look at the hearts going up for you in the chat. Oh my goodness. Hi, Lorinda. Hi, Janie. Good job. Hi, Latoya. So happy to see you guys in here. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so Janie, you having salad today? We are having today for lunch is actually I already pre-cooked it. I don't know if this camera's on. I'm going to show it, but it's really simple. It's just some hot dogs. And these are actually, I left the package downstairs, but these are actually from the Sprouts brand. I don't know if you guys have Sprouts where you guys live, but it's more of like a healthy type farm to market store. And this is some chicken and onion hot dogs. Well, they're sausages, but they're just made out of chicken and sweet onion flavoring. So, typically, one of our favorite meals that we like to It's really good. One of our favorite meals that we like to go to, we call them gourmet hot dogs. Okay. And so you'd be like, what's so gourmet about it? But they're gourmet because we'll put them in our bun and we just make the hot dog as is. The bun is typically the sweet Hawaiian rolls. Okay. And then the hot dog itself or the sausage link, we don't eat pork. So it's typically a spicy chicken andouille or some sort of a beef jalapeno or a turkey jalapeno sausage. And so we would put the spicy sausage with the sweet bun. And then we add this right here. I'll show it to you. I already pre-made it and I pre-cooked it so that we didn't have to do too much stirring while I was up here. And not a lot of people like coleslaw, and that's okay. But it's fresh coleslaw that we make. It's super easy to make. Of course, with the cabbages, you can see it now. I cheated today, okay? And so we just got the fresh, already chopped coleslaw that has the chopped carrots and the purple cabbage and cabbage and the green cabbage in there. And so you just take your dry coleslaw, and in order to make, maybe you guys already know how to make coleslaw, but this is how we do it. We also have our Hellman's, our vegan mayo, because you guys know I can't have the dairy and my kids can't have the eggs. So we get this vegan mayo, and it's really very good. And you add in the relish, okay? Now, not a lot of relish, but just this right here. Now, my mother loves the sweet relish. And so this one is the sweet, as you can see on the label. I don't care for the sweet relish, but you don't use a whole lot. So as you get your cabbage in your bowl, you add a couple of spoonfuls of your mayo. You add a dollop or two, right? Because that's how you eyeball things. A dollop of two of your relish. You could use sweet or you could use regular, but if you do use the sweet in this instance, then you don't have to add any sugar. So you add about a pinch of salt to it and a pinch of sugar, not tons. You don't want it to be over sweet. It's just giving it that contrast flavor. And the other thing I add to it is just a little capful of the apple cider vinegar. Now, I don't have it up here, but I'll add a capful of the apple cider vinegar to it because apple cider vinegar is just super good for you. And it kind of gives it a little bit of a little bite. You could also add a smidge of lemon if you want to squeeze a little lemon in that thing. And all you do is mix that up, mix that up. That cabbage will soften right up. And then once you let it sit for just a few minutes, 5-10 minutes, you could put it in the fridge. Now we're doing that. The hot dogs are cooking. And when you're done, you get your sweet Hawaiian roll, your Hawaiian bread, of course, the rolls. You put your hot dog in there. So your spicy hot dog, your sweet bun, and your cool relish as the topping. And when I tell you, that's one of our favorite meals. And so that's what we're having for lunch today. Now, here's the difference. Here's the edited version. The edited version is I don't eat a whole lot of carbs, right? Now, at first when we were doing it, I sacrificed and I had that fried PB&J, okay? And I paid for it, all right? I was like, man, I feel heavier. My clothes is getting a little thicker. And so I refuse to buy clothes that are bigger in size. If they start to tighten up, I know I need to loosen down. And so I'm not buying larger size clothes. We're just going to understand where we are in life. And then we got to know what we got to do. We need to get on the treadmill or just stop eating the carbs. So I typically don't eat carbs. Actually, the time that you may have seen me even eat that fried PB&J would have been the first couple of times that I've even had bread in years. So I just don't typically eat bread. But I did it and I enjoyed it. That's the thing. So anyway, you would have the Hawaiian bread. Today, we do not have Hawaiian bread because I thought summer was over, right? So you prepare your summer body for summer. You do all these things to get in shape. But then my friend told me the other day, she was like, girlfriend, we're in the fall season. We are here for fall and fluffy. She was like, this is fall and fluffy season. Eat your snacks and eat your cookies. Her and I love chocolate chip cookies. Eat your chocolate chip cookies. And I was like, I got to lay off the sweets because I'm getting thickums over here and I'm not trying to have it. And so she was like, girl, this is fall and fluffy. And I was like, you're right. You are right. And so I was like, forget it. Summer is over. It's time for a little treat. And so, but then Tim tells me the other day, he was like, yeah, so babe, um, I booked us to go to somewhere. I don't even know where we're going, but it's summer where it is, where we're supposed to be going. And he was like, we going on the beach. I think it may be South America or something. I don't know. Somebody has a somebody's getting married, and I was like, sweetheart, how you know? How you know I didn't have stuff on my schedule to do? He was like, baby, we going away for a week. And so he was like, it is beach time. And I was like, I was just told it was fall and fluffy time. And so now I was feeling the fluff, right? Now I got to defluff and prepare for January. It ain't right. I thought summer was over, guys, and clearly it isn't. So, anyways, we're going somewhere for like a week, and I'll figure it out. He's getting his hair braided right now. So, anyways, here's the thing. I'm frustrated, right? Because I was ready to embrace fall and fluffy. But now I can't. Now I can't. I don't know. The convictions, guys. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I really like to eat healthy. Um, I see you, Creative Heart. He sure did. He changed up the schedule of Floor and Fluffy. Good night. But trust me, I do a holiday, my own personal, every holiday. For years I've done this. My best friend, my closest friends, every holiday we do a sleepover. And me and my girlfriends have an amazing time. I pack my house out with my girls and we kick the boys out the house. We're up till nothing o'clock in the morning, laughing, giggling, doing karaoke, having a blast. Um, I don't know. Sometimes we're making s'mores at 2 in the morning outside, just cold and roasted. Like, is this chocolate good, y'all? And so we are up all night. We barely sleep. We barely sleep. We get a nap. And then I'm doing something fun and foolish. So at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, we're back to karaoke. I'm singing something obnoxiously loud, waking them up from their 20 minutes of sleep that they had and saying, this sleepover is not to sleep, it's to have fun. And that's what we do. Anyway, in saying all that, my sleepover with me and my gals, they are coming up. And I know that we're going to have fun. We are going to have snacks. And so, guess what? Fall and fluffy is going to happen in a few weeks with me and my girls. So, I'll save all my fun desserts for them because they come bringing things. They come bringing cookies and cupcakes and ambrosia and whatever they feel like it's on the list. It's snacks, it's fun, and nothing's off limits. We just enjoy ourselves. And so I hope you guys enjoy yourselves too. And don't be so hard on yourself this season. Every now and again, as we go through hard things in life, as we go through different things in life, you have to give yourself grace to laugh. You got to give yourself grace to have fun. You got to give yourself grace because a lot of times life will hit you, right? And that part is sad enough. And so you always have to find the fun and the funny somewhere. You just have to find it. And it always lightens the mood. And so early on in our marriage, Tim had a lot of loss in his family, right? My family is from the islands, right? I am an island girl through and through. And my family's from the islands. And these island people, I'm telling you, they don't die, honey. They live till they 300-400 years old. Okay, maybe not 300 or 400, but they live a long time because their life is easier. They don't have the stresses over here as we put on ourselves here in America. So they eat, they drink, and they be merry, and they live They just live long, right? So in my family, we haven't had a lot of death, nor had I experienced a lot of death. And early on when we got married, Tim had a lot of death in his family. Like people were just dying. His older generation was dying off. And I was like, I had never been to so many funerals. In fact, I don't even know if I had been to a funeral before until I was introduced with his family. Would that be right? I don't even think I had been to a funeral before because I typically, y'all, that's true, right? So this is going to be funny. I have an aversion to funerals, okay? I can't deal with the departed, all right? I did not put my phone on do not disturb. Once they have gone on to be with the Lord, I don't have the capacity. I don't have the capacity to like do funerals and see them. Like that isn't my strength, right? At all. That's just the truth. Tim knows that. Me and Tim, he jokes and laughs and he knows, Lord knows my wife. He said, I know when it's time for me to go home to be with the Lord, my wife ain't coming to my funeral. And I'm like, at least we know where we stand. And so he knows his wife, right? And so I will deal with anybody that is in the living realm. I got you. But goodness, the moment that last breath is gone, I'm out the door, honey. I mean, don't have me in the hospital room and that last breath is gone. I'm like, oh, it's time to go. All you gonna see is smoke, and you just gonna see that door slam shut, and I'm gonna be 3 miles down the road. Like, so guys, that is it. Like, I don't. They telling me to log off. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my gosh. It is the truth, you guys. I don't have the space and grace for it, right? And so Code Blue Juju is gone. Guys, y'all comments is killing me this morning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I can't deal with the departed. I just can't. I'm the one out the door. I'm going. And so when Tim's family, right, when they started, yes, I am the track star. When they started, like, I had to go to these funerals with them because then how did it look if I didn't go to the funeral, right? And we were married early on. So I had to go. So here I go. They were like, hey, do you want to go walk up to the front to see them in the casket? I was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm going to be right here in the back. When I tell you in the back, way in the back, like where the ushers stand, that's where I was. I was like, nah, I'm good, homie. And so they were like, why'd you ain't coming up to see? I'm like, listen, you got to know your boundaries, right? I can't fool with them just laying up in there like that. Like I'm good. I'm good. Y'all sleep. I'm gonna let y'all be sleep, right? So when I walk in, sometimes like when you walk into the funeral homes, they have that casket open on display, right? Some people can handle it. I can't handle it. All right. Brother man, or sister girl, auntie or uncle, grandmama, they out there. They out there on display. So here go me, right? I already know. The moment I see that, just the top of that casket, I'm like, oh shoot, I'm right here with it. I'm right here with it, y'all, okay? So I go in almost like I can't see. I'm down, eyes is closed. I don't want to see nothing, nobody. I see the top of that. Yeah. It's this, right? I don't know if you can hear my mom and the production crew in here. They are cracking up. But when I tell you head is down, eyes is closed, I'm trying to feel my way to my seat, okay? And so I'm looking down the whole time and I'm on the phone. I'm doing something to distract myself, right? I'm I'm listening to the word going forth. But when I tell you, my head is like this. So, in order to comfort myself, right? Because I can't keep my head down the entire time. I'll tell you why. Because we're considered family, right? Now, I got to be up a little closer. I'm a little closer to the front, which is the worst. So, I can't have my head down too much. So, what I do is, I'm in the corner though. What I do is I look around the room for the people that sleep, the people that's nodding off. I'm looking at what the ushers is doing. I'm looking at what everybody is doing so that I can get a little chuckle. Who got the food? Who pulling out a chicken wing out their purse? I'm trying to find something, y'all, to keep my attention because I am no good at these things. Now, that was early on, okay? And so being with Tim, I've had to do some funeral push-ups, all right? I had to do some push-ups in that area because when I tell you, they was coming hot and heavy. Angels was celebrating for those going to be with the Lord, okay? It was a party. It seemed like every other year. Then next thing you know, jokers in my family started to go on and be with the Lord. Hopefully they was going with the Lord. I don't know, okay? Listen, you got to make yourself feel good, okay? You got to just be like, Lord, you know their heart, okay? I'm not the one to judge. That's what I had to tell myself. There are certain family members I just don't know. I had my dad my dad got saved. You got to the comments. Listen, I grieve in my own way now. I wasn't there to see Angela. Did y'all see Angela's comment? One of my bestie sisters passed, and I was there for support. Yes, I wasn't prepared to view the body. See, we're not prepared. Everybody don't have the strength and the capacity. They just don't. And for those of you who can, that's amazing. Now, Tim can. Tim gonna go up there, touch. My sister's the same way. Feel. Make sure how they look. Make sure they look all right. I'm like, listen, I can't do all that. If I do all that, I'm gonna end up being in the casket with them. I can't take that. I can't do it. I wouldn't make it. I would pass out. I don't have the strength, y'all. There's some areas I got my strengths in. There's other areas I don't fool with the departed. And so I loved them. I love them when they living. I'm gonna miss them when they go. But I don't have to see them once they've gone. See, it's tough. I know. Y'all pray for me. See, I don't have it all together. There are areas I got to work on. Oh, my goodness gracious. So anyway, I've had to learn. So now my family members early on started to die. And I was like, okay, I could do this. I could do this. And both of my grandmothers died literally a month apart from each other. 1 month apart from each other, both of them. Now, they were older. They were in their 90s. Right? They had lived their life. They was well in their 90s. I told you, they live forever. And they both went on to be with the Lord. And I couldn't look at neither one of them. I had to go. Right? Now, I'm family. I'm direct family. I'm descendant. And when I tell you I walked up in there like this, I was like, can I sit in the back? And then for the viewing for one of them, they was like, yeah, you come on in and go over here. I was like, nah, go. I'm not. I know what my grandmother looked like. I bet you she looked the same when I saw her last. I'm good. Listen, they did not. I sat right outside. Didn't go in at all. I was like, I bet you she looked the same, didn't she? I bet you. When they came out, I bet you she looked the same. I didn't need to go in there and confirm. All y'all was in there already. I sat my behind right there outside in front of the church home and minded my business and waited till everybody came back out. So, listen, this is how we go. Now, by the time they passed on, right, I had went to the funeral gym, okay, because Tim, Lord, the man baptized me in funerals, okay? So I had went on to the funeral gym and I was able to do some push-ups. Now, I couldn't see the body, right? But I did speak at her funeral. I did speak at didn't I speak at my grandmother's funeral? I did speak at her funeral because the casket was closed. All right. If it's closed, I got you. Okay. I'm going to show up for you. All right. But I don't want to see you laying there the entire time. I just need you to be closed up. If you're going to be in there, I just need you to close up. So now I get in there and I go and I speak at the funeral. And while I'm there, it seems like all the time I'm making a joke, right? Where did I get that from? Tim. I got that from Tim. I have learned how to navigate funerals because of Tim. And I was so shocked because he was like, babe, he was like, it's always going to be a hard time, a hard season. He said, you got to find the funny in there. You got to find the funny. And so he said, I always look. He said, every time I got to make sure that they looking good in there. And then he said, you always got to look for the usher because it's typically a funeral home. It's sometimes a Baptist funeral home or something. And there's always an usher with the white button down, the white shirt on, but he ain't got an undershirt on. So then you just see that pack of Cools right here in his pocket, just sticking out right here, that pack of Cools. You just see the KOOLS. Listen, them cigarettes. So now I look for the pack of Cools. I look for things that find the funny. So see, he built me up in the funeral role, right? So then when my dad went passed on, right? Now this was back in 2012 when my dad passed, my biological. He had a massively big funeral because we had to go to Jamaica for that. I had to go to Jamaica for my grandmother's funeral. I had to go to Jamaica for his funeral. And let me tell you something, they do funerals. They party, they celebrate. They do something called 9 nights. And so every night before the funeral, it is a party, like they are celebrating. So if you're from the islands or if you're from Jamaica, you would know they do 9 nights and it is a party. They drink, they get drunk every night until the funeral. Okay. Now my dad, I love my dad. I loved my dad. He was a charming, handsome man. And he loved to drink his vitamin. So his vitamin was his rum and Coke. And then he loved his cigarettes and he loved his women, right? And so at the funeral, and everybody knew that, right? So that was no secret, right? That was no secret. And so at the funeral, I got up there and I spoke because I was like, this is my dad, right? And the casket was closed. Was it closed? Oh, yes. Oh, y'all. That's right. His casket was open. And in them islands, y'all, funerals is different than Americans. It's different. They ain't got all them codes and laws and things you can do over here. It's different, okay? If you haven't experienced it, it's different. Let me give y'all these hot dogs while I'm over here talking about the funeral life. They say that. They over here like, yeah, we're hungry. We're starving. So now, you guys, you said you did want it in the bread, right? Okay, all right. Listen, oh my goodness. So I go to my dad's. Oh, we shouldn't. I took too long. I'm putting this coleslaw in here, guys. You see this? We're going to get back to this funny funeral conversation. All right. So this is essentially how it's going to look. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is it lower? All right. So it's this sausage dog with onions and the coleslaw right on top. Now, it's going to be a little cool because I've been up here chatting with y'all. And so now this done cooled off. So I know my mother likes things hot enough to rival the fires of Mordor. And so I already know right now it is not hot enough for her. So if you see her tip out to go put it in the furnace, you will you'll see her tip out in a minute, maybe. Let's see. All right, Mr. Producer, this is for you. Let me know how it goes. Today we are not using the sweet and sour. We're using some healthy Ezekiel bread, guys. All right. Fall and Fluffy is in. Not yet. Next week. Next week we'll start falling fluffy again. So I go to so we get at my dad's funeral, y'all, and when I tell you, that casket was open, and I was like, oh nah. And what happened was, I saw like I didn't know it was gonna be open this time. I just kind of peeked. I peeked around the corner. Y'all, listen, this is no joke. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. We pull up, I get out the car, because now I got to drive in the limo, right? I got to drive in the family car. So they're going to pull you right up. But when they pull you right up, in this place, all the doors is open. Everything is open. So you can see straight to the front. And so I just sort of peeked around just to see. I saw like some hair. I was like, oh no, oh no. And then, like his hair, and then like right here, like the top of the forehead. And I was like, oh no, that color look off. Not kidding. I could not. I was done, guys. I was done. So then I tell you what, family or not, daddy or not, DNA or not, my behind sat way in the back, okay? I was way in the back. Now, I was on the program to speak. And so I was like, okay, y'all, I was so nervous. I was nervous because I was like, I can't walk up there. He's still open. Y'all, he was still open. They didn't close it, okay? They didn't close it. The whole time I was like, I can't. How am I going to get? So now I'm in the back trying to map out my route when I get up there because there's just no avoiding it. I'd have had to go way out, way up to the other side. It was hard, y'all, okay? So now it was time for me to go give words. And I got up there and I had my Barbie doll. Y'all, I had a Barbie doll. A Barbie doll. And I think I had a pack of cigarettes. And then I think I had and it was a Barbie doll. Why did I have these things? Because I knew when I walked up there, everybody that was in there was going to know that my dad loved his smokes and he loved his women. And so I used that Barbie doll as an example for the women. Because at the end of the day, brown man was universal, okay? It didn't matter. And so that Barbie doll represented the women, and them smokes represented what he loved. And so when I tell you, they fell out laughing because they all knew my dad and knew how he was. And so the ladies loved my dad. And so again, in a very like hard time, sad time, you find the funnies. And at that point, I had mastered finding the funnies. And I had already grieved, and and it was sad to, actually see him. But then at the same time, you still got to find the fun. And so at the end of the day, it broke up the monotony of the tears. It broke up the monotony of the crying. And so, and then afterwards, that was a whole nother journey. I'm not even going to tell y'all what happened afterwards, but yes, what I did was when I walked up that aisle, though, I forgot to tell you this, when I walked up the aisle, why did I just look at everybody and waved at everybody on the way like, hey, y'all, oh, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Yep. I was trying to avoid looking at him because the casket was open. I didn't need to see him. So that was my map. It was like, oh, hi. Oh, good to see you. Oh, yeah. Hi. How are you? Good to see you. As I am just diverting my attention from here. And then I maneuvered my way up to the top. Listen, I had to do what I had to do, guys. I am human. And so I don't do funerals, right? Now, to say that, I did do my father-in-law's funeral because now that was just this year, okay? Now, you got to understand, I have grown, guys. Hopefully you could see the growth that I have had. I've had to do my work, okay? Tim baptized me into the funeral role early on in my stages. And then as my family began to go on and see the Lord or wherever they went, we walked on through, and then as other people begin to go visit the King in his glory, hopefully that's where they went, right? I got a chance to go on ahead and, practice my skills. And so I put into practice and so we got it. So now by the time it came to my father-in-law, I was able to not only do the funeral. We did the whole funeral. I planned the funeral. We did everything afterwards, and that was good. Now, y'all, this was just this year, and there's still a little piece of me that doesn't, that I can't. So the moment, like I was with Tim's dad to the moment, not to the moment, right? Just a few hours before he passed, just a few hours. That was the last time I saw him. When he actually did pass, and it like I went back a few hours later. Of course, I went to the house. Of course, I went to go be with mom and Tim and do that. And they was like, "Do you want to go see dad?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good." You know what I mean? I just saw him a couple hours ago. I bet you he still looked the same. I'm good. And so they was like, "We respect that, Jew. You do. That's okay." See, they respected it. You got to respect people where they are. You just do. So, but I feel like I've come a long way. I don't think I'm ever really going to get to the place where I'm going to be touching, looking, and feeling like I ain't doing all that, right? And so, but I have come a long way. So I don't know what y'all experiences were, but all I know is I got to find the funnies, and I'm always looking for the funnies. I figure I'll cry later, but I'm going to find the funnies in this situation that I'm in today. Not today, but, at funerals. Okay, that was a lot, y'all. Y'all in these comments are cracking me up so hard. So y'all have given me so much giggles today as we are eating this lunch. I haven't even had this hot dog yet. I'm not even going to have it with the bread. All right. How is this hot dog and coleslaw doing? You need more coleslaw. Okay. How is this going? It's already gone. Do you want more? Have an extra? There is I can't see the chats anymore. I think they're in there. I think there's a zoom out. Your finger might have hit something. I'm not sure. Something's going on. Not I see glasses. Nope, not there's a whole nother something else going on. Oh my goodness. Who said that? Angela. Yeah, touching is crazy. Yeah, I can't do it. My sister's a toucher. I'm not a toucher. Yeah, your mom's funeral. My family was kissing and hugging her in the casket. I had my limits for sure. Yes, see, everybody's got their limits. Like your family is amazing. I can't do it. My mental capacity can't handle it. But yeah, I can't do it. But to each his own, right? To each his own. Everybody has their capacities and their strengths. And that is just not one of mine. But I have had growth, and so I'm happy for that. Anyways, guys, we got off on such a funny story, and are you ready for? You want the bread? Please. Is this the one I just cut? Not I'm giving him the one. I just cut and ate off. Guys, today is Goofy Day, okay? It is Goofy Day. Let that body move and watch the church clear. Let that body move and watch the church clear. Let the church clear out quick. Honey, I would be out the state. Okay, if that body moved, my soul would leave my body. You need to know. My soul would be gone. I'm telling you that. Oh my gosh, all the faith I have in the world, I'm here for the resurrection. I am here for miracles. Sometimes I need miracles at a distance, right? And it needs to be certain types of miracles I can take. I don't know that I can't take all of God's miracles. You got to know. You got to be honest with yourself, okay? You have to be honest with yourself. I can't take all of God's miracles, right? At the same time, so if God is blessing somebody and we had a funeral and that they come up because a miraculous miracle happened, oh, I'm out the door. I'm sure I'll praise God later. I'm sure I'll praise him later. But in that moment, I'm in a whole nother state. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know about y'all. Oh my gosh. I can't handle it. But anyway, you guys are so, so funny. Coleslaw, more coleslaw. See, guys, the coleslaw is good. It works. They are coming back for coleslaw seconds, guys. Okay, so what is it? What are we even talking about today? I don't even know what time it is. We're on a rant about funerals, and that is super funny. It is 12:42. My goodness. It's supposed to be like holiday season talking about it. But you know what? This is the season for that. If we're being honest, a lot of times we lose loved ones around the holidays. So that's just the truth. We do lose loved ones around the holidays, and I think that's what we start talking about is the holidays can cause uh, can cause for people to experience grief and uh, um, grief and sorrow and joy. So you got to be able to hold space for both of those. Um, there was a few announcements. What was my announcements? Oh, guys. Okay, guys. Yeah, I have a couple of announcements. It's just a couple. And so first and foremost, next week, is it next week? Oh, yeah. Next week, guys, is you know what? These comments are distracting me. You need to know I am. I can't look at this screen. Don't move it because I need to see it. But I just want to say I can't look at the screen because I am distracted by the funnies of what you guys are saying, and I am in giggle mode right now. And so it is happening. I hope you guys are enjoying this lunch because I am thoroughly enjoying it with you. Um, so thank you guys so much. Now, so next week, right, is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you watching. And if you're watching right now live, happy Thanksgiving to everybody in my chat. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are not in the chat. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are gonna watch it later, maybe tonight, tomorrow, or whenever. I hope you spend time with your loved ones, your family, your friends, a friendsgiving, whatever. Just please don't be alone on the holidays if you choose not to, right? Some people may want to be alone. So happy early Thanksgiving to all of you. If you live out of the country, you do not even live in America. I don't know. You all don't always celebrate American holidays, and some countries never really do. And some countries have taken it on because of so many tourists have come in their countries, and so they end up having a holiday for them. So if it's a holiday in your country where you are, it may not be Thanksgiving, but it may be something else. Happy holidays to you too, especially going into Thanksgiving and this whole holiday season. My home is already filled with Christmas joy because that is how I get down. Now, it is late. Christmas would have been up from end of October. Just letting you know, right? You may think, Jew, that's too early. I get it. I get it. But because I like to go all out for the holidays, it takes me time to put that Christmas up. So guess what? It's going to stay up. It's got to stay up for the season. And my family is just as bad, y'all. My husband, my mother, my kids, they don't want it to come down. They're like, Mom, can you not take Christmas down to like March? I only take down Christmas and the holidays for all the guests that come over because they're like, Jew, we're going into Easter at this point. I'm like, listen, this is my house. Everybody loves it. They never want me to take it down. So what I've had to do throughout the year is supplement. Everywhere that I would have Christmas lights, I've had to put up ambient or up lighting to make it feel very warm and cozy because they just love how it looks in the house during the holiday season. And I love it too. It's just really fun. So there's very much Christmas downstairs, and I will put the Christmas up here soon. So my next ones, you'll probably see a little baby tree. But I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure that we still had a little something for Thanksgiving, a little fun pumpkin right there. So for all of you, I want you to know that we will not have a Spend Lunch with Jew live next week, Friday, because it's Black Friday, guys. And you guys have to go up and go do your shopping and spend time with your family and take a day off. So I want to make sure that you guys are out and about and you are spending time with your family. Now, um, I don't know. Maybe I can't guarantee it. I can't guarantee it, but maybe we could do a pre-record and then we can upload it. What do you think, producer Jay? Maybe we'll see if we do a pre-record it and then just upload it for then I'll see. If not, don't hold me to it, but I want you to know that we won't tape for Black Friday. So I want you guys to enjoy your family. What I will do is, what I am offering though, is you guys know we have all the platforms, right? You know, we have the counseling center, you know, we have Mentor You, you know, I'm putting on the retreats, and those retreats are already, we have, I think, 6 or 7 for next year. And they are already filling up. We're going to release the registration to those retreats soon. For the guys, I'll have that up for you very shortly. And for the marriage retreats, we're just solidifying a date. The marriage retreat will be a very small number of couples. So it will be 4 couples only for the retreat, just for starting out for our marriage. And we may do that twice a year. So I might do a marriage one in the spring, and then I might throw in another one in the fall. So we'll just see how many. If we get too much response, I'll throw another one in for the fall. Um, and so the retreats are, we're going to send out the registration links. If not today, it'll be tomorrow. If you're on our mailing list, you'll be able to get all the updates to everything that we're doing. So you can go on any one of our sites where it says join the mailing list, or sign up. Maybe, Jarrell, you could put the link up there for them to, on the retreats, there is a join the mailing list for the retreats on the Whole Women Co. And then there's the also one for the Upset the Vows, which is the marriage one. You can just copy and paste the link in there for them to see. So that's coming up if you want to get in the know for information there. All right. So I am offering you guys for this holiday season. I have not done anything this whole year since we launched. So this is a special Black Friday. We are offering a discounted rate. So it's our Black Friday special for our Mentor You platform. As you guys know, it's a year platform of me and others walking through life with you. And as you get in the platform, we're here. They're talking to you, you're talking to them, and it's a live interaction in the different areas of your life. So you know that has a hearty price tag. I say hearty because it is. It is. I want to make sure that I'm blessing these mentors for all the work that they are doing, walking through life with you guys. So it's $19.99 annual. Of course, we have payment plans now. So that payment plan page is up. I think it's $200, and then you can pay 200 or 300. You could choose like 4 months, 6 months, or 9 months payment plan options. And what we have for our Black Friday special is, instead of it being $19.99, we're giving it to you for $14.99 for the year. And so there's payment plan options for that. And they should put that up there soon. It is $14.99 total, and that's 12 months. Includes 8 hours of personal one-on-one life coaching. It includes all access to all the mentors, everything that we have on the platform. It includes access to all of that for 12 months. So even from the date that you guys sign up, over the next couple days, we will send you welcome emails, get you signed up, and you would have access. All you do once you get in there, once you've signed up, is you hit register for the mentor that you want to talk to, and you can talk to all of them, and they will be in there walking through life with you based on the topics and the passions that they're offering. So if you need finances, if you need business, if you need whatever that, they're gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in there, and my channel is I do Wednesday mornings, so I do my devotional in there We're just do a deep study dive. Like I said, we've been in Genesis, and it's been so amazing and even eye opening to myself. And then I have a live. I thought I put this phone on silent. There we go. So, in there, I have a general mentoring platform as well. So, whatever we need to talk about, we will dive deep in there. I have one in there for pastors' wives that I talk to pastors' wives only. So, there's a channel in there that if you sign up in Mentor You and you are a pastor's wife, you will have access to. That's an exclusive channel just for them. Of course, they will have access to all of the other mentors as well, but they have an exclusive channel for pastors' wives. And then we'll be starting one very shortly, probably in the next couple of weeks, for pastors and leaders. And so it's for pastors and leaders to be able to come in and unburden, talk with, have mentoring, share, give advice. We could do whatever we need them to do. They have a space, they have a person that they can go and talk to. They have accountability. We'll be there to keep them accountable. And so nobody can say that they don't have anyone or anything. And so that's what I want to offer you guys for a Black Friday special is our 14.99 special. And so that's basically like $500 off of the price. And then that's that. And I think Cyber Monday, that will change to $200 off. So you can get this. This will be available until, is it Black Friday? It'll be available until so Sunday before, or Black Friday is Friday, right? Okay. So Friday, and I will even do it to that Saturday. So whatever date that is, that Saturday, right after Black Friday, that when this will go away, and then it will change to offering $200 off the total for the Mentu platform for Cyber Mondays special. And so that's our first kind of sale we've given this entire time. But I wanted to make sure that we had an offering for you guys for the holidays. If you wanted it, you are there. So we would love to see you in the Mentu platform. It is a safe space for you. And walking through life with you in all the different seasons that you are in. So, love for you guys to join us. Now, we are also for the BALM Counseling Center. We probably will put it up. Check the chat, or again, I don't know if it's in there, but we're saying, why don't you guys, if a Christmas gift, if you want to offer somebody, we want to do a promo for gift a group. And so, gift a group is we have lots of groups that we are pushing out, and you'll see, we'll start promoting. We have support groups. So they're support groups, right? They're much cheaper. They're like $50 a week or $40 a week. So they're much cheaper than an average counseling rate of like 120, 150, however much it costs for people to do counseling. These groups are groups of 10, no more than 10 people in this group. And the groups are only like 8 weeks long. So that's your community space for only 8 weeks. There is a leader in that group that is walking you through an entire system. So for 8 weeks, it's a weekly teaching and it's a support group. During the holiday seasons, there is a lot of times people go through a lot of stuff. There's a lot of grief. There's a lot of hurt, harm, anger. People deal with a lot of anger issues. So we have an anger management support group that will be coming very soon. So that's anger management. We have a pre-adoption. So for those of you that may have wanted children, trying for children, can't have children, and then now you're embracing the idea of maybe adopting someone and bringing someone else into your family, which is so important and needed. We have a therapist on our platform that's doing a support group for you going through the pre-adoption process, and she has another support group for the post-adoption process. So now that you actually have the kid, how to navigate and transition a new life being adoptive parents and having to learn and navigate that. So she does both of those groups. We have a support group coming for addictions. So for those of you that battle or struggle with addictions, whether they're drug addictions, alcohol addictions, porn addictions, any types of addictions, and especially drugs, I think, yeah. So that, yes, that program, for those of you that are in the criminal justice system, or have had to deal with the criminal justice system because of these addictive behaviors, uh, this therapist that heads up that group, or this coach that heads up that group, has it has been beneficial to the court systems, because the court systems would send them to this group. So that group is 6 months. It's a 6 months recovery of addiction process group, and so it's he's amazing. It's a great group, and that will be starting very soon, probably in December, latest January. So we'll keep you posted. But we also have a support group for family members of those who are addicted. Why? Because a lot of times people that have addictions and addictive behaviors, the family members and the close friends, they're spending their resources, they're spinning their wheelhouse, they're thinking, they can't sleep at night, they're worried, they're concerned, they're doing everything to support you, that who could be battling with addiction. They're doing everything to make sure you're okay. They want to make sure you're alive. They want to make sure that you're not out there. When you don't come home, they're worried sick. They battle now with anxiety because of some of the actions and the behaviors that come with addiction. So we also have a support group for those family members that they need support too, and how to help deal with the chemical imbalance and the addictive behavior. So we have a support group for family members of the addicted, and we have addiction recovery for those who struggle with addiction and helping to stay in recovery. So there's that. Then there's mom support group. Mom stands for mothers, moms. Um, what is it, Jarrell? This acronym is, I just saw it yesterday. Oh, let me get it for you. Hold on. It's such a sweet support group for moms. Let me see. What is it? There's so many, guys, so forgive me that I don't know them all at the top of my head, but it's going to be here right now. It is Mothers Offering Meaningful Support. So sweet. Mothers offering meaningful support. So that's for new moms, existing moms. You're pregnant, or not pregnant, but you're about to have a baby, you're having a baby. You got toddlers, you got teenagers, you're just a mom of any age and stage. She's offering a support group for mothers, offering other meaningful support. And so these are really great support group, guys. Of course, we have the forgiveness to freedom. Those are our biggest support. Those are the most requested support groups. Is the forgiveness to freedom for men. We have a forgiveness to freedom for men only, and we have a forgiveness to freedom. Um, Let me see, a women's only. We have church hurt and trauma. Many of you, that's another highly requested group, is a support group for those of you who battle church hurt and trauma. So there's so many more. There's teens, 15 to 17, um, teachers and educators, those of you who have children that have chronic illness and disease, and those of you who have children who have disabilities. So that's ADHD, that's autism, any of those types of disabilities. We have a lady who's so passionate about supporting the parents who don't know how to talk, who don't know how to really handle their kids that have these different types of disabilities, hearing impaired. We have a doctor who does the interpretation for ASL as well, so if you need that. So we just want you to know we try to just have all the resources to be able to support you in any area of your life. So if you know anybody that needs that support, maybe gift them a group, gift them a support group. You can gift them a session, or you can gift them um, a whole group. So all you have to do is fill out the interest form, fill out all the information so that we can contact you on the website for the BALM counseling. And then if you put this is a gift, we'll reach back out to you and let you know how to do that. So, okay, I see some questions coming in. Good afternoon, Auntie Ju. I'm Michael from Ghana. Hi, Michael from Ghana. And I love you so much. I love you too, Michael. Thank you. You and Tim have been on my ears ever since the first episode of The Basement dropped. Really? Oh, that's amazing. And now spend lunch with you. Michael, thank you so much. I'm so glad you have been with us all the way from Ghana. I hope you know that I have such a heart for people. Um, I have you on my ears. Do you see that? I love it. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with Tim on the basement. Thank you for um, rolling with us through all the highs and the lows. Thank you for being with me on my new show. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. I love you. I love Ghanaians. You know, Tim's mom is from her, she's Ghanaian. I have dear friends that are Ghanaian, and I cannot wait to visit one day. And I love my international audience. Please invite your friends to come and be a part of Spend Lunch with Jew. You guys are my heart and my passion as well. Um, okay, first I would like to admit I'm stuck since I got broken up for a reason, and I didn't even ask her, and she told me she didn't know too. And so I thought the wisest thing was to present since I think he's asking a question, but I don't I, it might be um continuing to go. So I'll wait till he finish asking. Uh, Purposely planned life ministries. As a mom with a child with disability, I'm so happy to hear about these resources. It really feels like a safe place. Yes, thank you. Purposely planned. Yes, that is my goal: is to just provide safe places for you all in the event you don't have one. And I don't want anybody to say that there's nothing out there. I want to be a place where there's something out there. And so, yes, please go and check out. Her name is Yolanda. She handles that group in the parents with children with disabilities. And she handles parents that have to manage children with diseases as well. And so it's a super passionate place for her. She teaches even things on how to teach the kids, but she also teaches the parents how to support them. She gives you tools on how to support you. She tries to support you, is what I'm trying to say, in what you're going through. All right. I don't know, Michael, if you are still asking the question, but I will um, uh, uh, finish answer that. I think you were trying to say, and I think Netters has a question. Let me finish answer you, Michael. I think you're saying that you were persistent after she broke up with you. Um, well, if she hasn't given you the reason and she doesn't know, maybe just give her a little space. It doesn't mean you have to smother her. And if she's not sure why, then I want you to think and be ahead of it and say, okay, well, I want her to be just as intentional with me as you are with her. And so if she's not as into you yet, or if she's broken up to you and she's not communicating quite yet what it is, then maybe just give her her space. If she is for you, she will be for you. Um, Maybe in this space, don't be over persistent, but maybe from time to time, just check on her, right? Just check on her. Maybe give her some space once every 2 weeks. Hey, so and so, I'm just saying hi. Don't want anything, not being pushy, but I'm just checking and seeing how you are and where you are, right? Just so that you know. Okay, I think, Michael, I see your chat in now. I had become more in love with her, and that messed me up real good. And I have never been the same since May 23. We do same courses, and so I get to see her most times, which takes me back light years. Oh, yeah, that definitely must be hard if you often see her. Like I said, um, maybe you could do like I said, just give her a little space. And I'm sure your heart is madly in love with her. And so now, Mike, I'm going to say to you, maybe temper your heart and just pace your heart, and just try to give her a minute, right? Give her a minute and see what it is. Every 2 weeks, just check in and say, hey, would you be ready to talk? Have you figured out why you feel like we can't be together? And I need you to also be able to be prepared for the answer. You know, maybe she might say, hey, you're too pushy. Or maybe she might say, you know what, I thought I was ready for you, but maybe I'm not. So be prepared for the answer, Michael, and um, don't don't be offended of whatever it is. Maturity says to take whatever she's gonna say, um, and 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 digest it, and then be honest with yourself. Okay, am I that way? Could I see her point? All right. So How do I become whole again and not be a people pleaser and seek validation of others because of my isolation? I think that was what I found about myself. Okay, great, Michael. So that is, you've got to do the work in you. So as she is taking a break and as she is having some time, then you need to take this break too. And as you are saying it, so your question is, how do I become whole again and not a people pleaser? So that takes time, right? I'm pretty sure you didn't become a people pleaser overnight, right? So there's a reason you said and seek validation from others, because in my isolation, I think I was what you found about yourself. Yeah. So um, um, there's a reason why you seek validation, right? So now you're going to have to do your Genesis work, which is go back in and really start to say, okay, why am I a people pleaser? Why do I need this validation? So you're going to have to revisit and ask yourself some hard questions. You may not be able to ask yourself all of the questions, and you might need somebody to help you pull it out of you, right? So, hi, Sierra. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I didn't see. That's so cool. Come on, Blue Highlight. That's our first one. Thank you, Sierra. So I want to say to appreciate you, honey. Um, Mike, she doesn't want to talk to me. Okay, that's okay, Michael. If she doesn't want to talk to you, there's a reason. There's a reason to give her the space. This is the answer. Give her the space. Do you some work, right? That means I want you to do some personal work. Get some counseling. Talk to a friend. Maybe not a friend. Get a counselor, okay? Jump in that BALM Counseling Center. Do a group, which very inexpensive. Do a group. We take international. Or talk to somebody by you that is a counselor if that's what you want. But I don't want you to kind of do it by yourself, okay? So we have to be self-aware. We got to be honest with ourselves. If she doesn't want to talk to you, then be okay. That's maturity that says, okay, now let's find out why she doesn't want to talk to you. But don't harp her, because if you keep harping her, you're going to push her away, okay? So take the time. When she's ready to talk to you, she will. And if she does, then be okay with the answer. Don't be defensive. Be receptive of what she has to say and let it be what it is. Okay. So now you do your heart work. All right. All right. I hope that helps. Get you some counseling, Michael. All right. Joe, can you scroll back up? Because I think there was somebody else. Scroll back up some more. There's a couple of questions that came in. That was Michael's. I saw it was Netter's. Is there a group for grown individuals like myself that have struggles around being born hearing impaired? Thank you, Netters. So now Yolanda she does support groups for the parents of those, but she could also help you. And I will tell you why. Her and I have a doctor that is on there that does do sign language and they both deal with those that are hearing impaired as well. And so, yeah, if you go into the counseling center, the BALM Counseling Center, do the interest form, I want you to fill out the interest. It's just a simple form, and put in the notes for you're requesting Yolanda's group, and just put a comment in there and see. I'm sure she will not hesitate to start a group for that community. We do have resources for that community, for your community, for those that are hearing impaired. And so I'm going to say yes to that. Or if you're asking specifically for adults, she will do one for you. So we haven't had enough requests yet to just create one for adults that are hearing impaired, but we do have all the resources ready. So if that is something that you want, please just fill in the interest form, put that in there, and we will get it for you. And then definitely please invite your friends. If you know of any others that are part of the deaf and hard of hearing community, then please, by all means, invite them. But yes, she will not hesitate to get one started for you for sure. Okay. So I hope that helps, Netters. Was there something else before Netters? Okay. Crispy, hey, Auntie Juliet, can't wait for lunch with Juliet live in person because I love and need the mini cooking lessons. Yes, I'm working on it. I am definitely working on it, but it is here in Texas first. So I don't know if you live in Texas. We're going to work on it for. We're going to work on it for December. So we are getting that information out to you super soon. We're just solidifying a location. Is there anybody in the chat? Can we put a poll up? Is there anybody in the chat that's right here in DFW? Kay, I had a question too. So while you put up that poll, I want to see who's in DFW. I have a question as a wife. As a wife, in what ways do you help your husband as a helpmate, rather being his mother? Oh yeah. So we just talk about it. Um, Not his mother because we don't nag. I don't nag him. We just communicate really well, and I think effective communication helps with not being his mom. Now, I'm saying that in hopes that are you feeling like he acts like a child, or is that your interpretation? Are you asking him things? Are we communicating? Is he not doing the things he's saying he's going to do? So I would need a little bit more. I know sometimes as a wife that those lines get blurred a lot because you're trying to be the wife, and then I think sometimes um, we fall into the realm of um, acting like their mom because sometimes we feel like they're not doing, what they keep saying that they're doing. So um, I think Kia would have to ask you a little bit more. You'd have to be a little bit more clear for me. Maybe give me a little bit more context so I can help you better in trying to answering that question. Okay. Was there anything else, Jarrell, as you're scrolling? Let me see. William, I'm coming to terms recently that I suffer from some form of addiction disorder. Okay. But I don't have the time or resources to even address it. How could the BALM help me with that and managing my ADHD? Thank you, William. I recently suffered from some addiction disorder. Yeah. So I think it's really important, William, to make the time if you really want to. I don't know what you do. Um, but there are some there the support groups go on, and I don't know what resources that you don't have. So we don't take insurance, but we do take the FSA and the HSA. Those are the three letters I always get tied tongue over, but we do take those. You just have to ask your insurance, and we do provide a super bill. So if you do have insurance, we don't take insurance, but we can give you a receipt for you to say, hey, the BALM Counseling Center is a private practice. So we do have those support groups, William, and they are at a much cheaper rate. Like they're literally half or less than what you would end up paying for one-on-one counseling for that same thing. So if you can try to maybe save resources, they also sometimes the therapist or even the therapist. Drill, can you put the thing up for me? Even the therapist sometimes would um, kind of walk through a payment plan with you. So let me know if that helps. Yes, there's those resources there at the BALM to help you. And then I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, is $50 a lot for you to manage? That's what the groups cost. They cost like $50. That's their average rate. There's one group that's like $65 per person per week. And then there's another one. Those more intense clinical groups are $80. But still definitely much cheaper. So the prices are on there. I would love for you to send in a uh, fill in the get started interest form, and then put in the comments what you're needing. And then once that form comes in the system, we'll definitely see who can do that work. So what we're trying to do is in our BALM counseling pages. So for those that want to give or donate, we do have that. You see where it says the Upset the World Foundation on the site? On the Upset the World Foundation, you could donate in there. And for those of you who can't afford it, for people who can afford it, we can take those resources and we can put that in a sliding scale as long as you note it. Hey, we want to donate this much money for those who can't afford um, therapy. And so if they're donating and they're allotting it to that, then those resources can be used for those that can't truly afford those costs. We can allocate those monies. So for those of you that do have it and want to give, you can go to Upset the World Foundation and give, and then just put note. This is specifically for those who can't afford the BALM counseling. And so as we build up those resources, then yes, we can use that to help fund people like William and those who can't even pay that aren't able to pay those resources. But that's what we want to be able to do, is have resources um, um, to be able to give back to those who can. But we do have very reasonable rates for sure. So just send us a note, William, and we'll see what we can do. Like, you have not because you ask not. So just put it in there and then see what we can. Okay. Is that? Oh, he can manage. Okay, awesome. Bashi 100, any advice for married couples who are living apart due to work opportunities? We've got some family friends who are living apart so that the husbands can advance his career. Is it ever worth it? Really great. That is really hard. That is really hard. Um, gosh. Um, Work opportunities. Is there any way that the families just can be with them? I understand that work opportunity. Sometimes you got to do what you just got to do. I mean, and if it is just dire situation where both the husband and wife are in full agreement, and if it's something like the military, I know the military, the families are sometimes apart because not often the families do get to go and live on base. And so sometimes the families do get to be apart, and it's hard for military families. I mean, that's why we have a support group for veterans and militaries, because it's difficult to live apart that way. Um, and so if it is the husband can advance his career, is there literally anything that they can do to bring the family together? Are there any attempts to see the family? Are there any attempts, like he's coming home every week? Is he talking to them every day? Is the wife okay with it? I think we have to really dig. I don't know what the career is. Um, and is it ever worth it? To me, unless the family can be with you, it's very difficult. Sometimes it's not often worth it unless it's for a short period of time. So sometimes there are people that have to maybe go away for a month or two. Um, it gets a lot harder when it's 6 months or more. Sometimes they can manage if it's a couple of months and then they're home with the kids, so they're managing. That doesn't mean that they like it. So I never encourage it. If it's something that they're just dire, are they literally doing everything that they can to make sure that they are trying to keep the family together? Are they making vacations together? Are they trying to see each other? So those are some of the details I don't know. You might have answered, as I just don't see the further scroll, but it is very hard. It's very difficult. And I just would want to know, are they literally doing everything that they can to make sure that their kids are okay or their wife is okay, and that they are being honest and integral while they are away? From the onset of it, when you say, does the can so that the husband can advance his career, it just seems, I don't know if he's doing it just for himself, or if literally what he's doing is providing for the family. Or does the wife have her own career? And it's like, it's not necessary. It's just what you want to do. See, there's so many nuances to that. I'm not quite sure. But I can tell you now that is a very difficult situation. And I definitely would hope that they are getting counseling, that they're over communicating, and that they are literally doing everything that they can to see each other in their absences. So hopefully that helps. Hi, Luna Rose. You made a live. Yay. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you, Michael. Okay, I think you got it. Angela, I've been a person who has lived in unforgiveness, had abandonment and betrayal in my life. I struggle, and I know that it's a daily act to not regress and think about the pain that was caused. Yes. Yes, absolutely. It is. Thank you, Sierra. You are very, very kind. Thank you, sweetheart. Um, Let me see. Go back to the was it a question, Angela? Struggled. I know it is a daily. It's daily work, Ange. It is daily work to not go back. And so you have to. You got to think. What is the bigger picture? Unforgiveness will keep you bitter. It will keep you angry. And so here's what I say about forgiveness and unforgiveness. When a person asks, and I love this, so I had to sit up for a second. Um, when we ask a person to forgive, we are asking them to do a big thing. Because oftentimes, if I'm asking you to forgive, that means you've done something very, very hard or very, very difficult that makes me not want to forgive you. And so when we're asking somebody to say, hey, you need to walk in forgiveness, I am aware that when I'm asking somebody that, I'm asking them to do a very big thing and a very difficult thing. And I'm also asking them to not do something that is impossible either. So on the flip side, I know it's not impossible, but it can be very difficult. But I want you to know that if you don't walk in forgiveness, that bitterness or that unforgiveness will eat at you, eat at you, eat at you, eat at you, eats at you. It doesn't eat away at the person or the thing that did it, that caused the unforgiveness. That unforgiveness eats you alive. So, what's so powerful about forgiveness is doing this hard work of saying, you know what? I can't control what they do. I cannot control what has happened. It has already happened, so I can't change the past. And yes, I'm angry, and I'm angry that I was abandoned, and I'm angry that I was left. And forgiveness says, I'm going to make the decision to not allow the anger, not allow the unforgiveness to narrate my future steps. Because if we're really honest with ourselves, how has how has the unforgiveness really affected? Right? So, Angela, you got to ask yourself, how has this unforgiveness eaten away at me today? How has this unforgiveness eaten away at me yesterday? How has the unforgiveness eaten away at me from a year ago still affecting me today? How much more have I been eaten away at today because of it, right? How much deeper is the unforgiveness? So, am I really being the best person that I can be? No, because that unforgiveness is chomping away bit by bit at us. What forgiveness does is it says, I'm not going to allow that situation to control me any longer, to control my emotions any longer, to control my feelings any longer. And I'm not going to allow it to dictate my future steps. I am not going to allow it to be the narrator of my life going forward. And I'm going to walk and live in freedom because this unforgiveness, this act, this issue no longer has power over me. And I'm not allowing it to have power over me. And this is the power of forgiveness, is saying, you had power over me because I let you eat at me. I let you eat away at me in this hurt, in this space. Um, now I'm no longer going to give you permission in my life to do that. And I'm going to choose every day. It's every day you going to the mental gym and saying, I am going to choose to not let this narrate my words. I'm not going to let this narrate my actions. I'm not going to let this thing, this abandonment, this problem narrate my attitude towards myself or others. It can't have any more control over me. And I'm going to choose to walk in forgiveness. So the forgiveness is as well, in addition to I'm forgiving myself for not giving myself permission to forgive, right? Sometimes when we come into an awareness, then we get mad and we get grievous, and all these emotions start to come up as we walk through a process of forgiveness. Anger comes up, despair, grief. So we have to be like, you have to give yourself grace to be like, you know what? I did that. I allowed that to happen, and now I'm going to walk in freedom. So forgiveness is really for you to say, I'm not going to allow that to control and dictate my life. And I tell you, Angela, it's going to free you. Like when you do that, it's going to free you. Now, the spiritual component is you've got to partner with the Holy Spirit to help you do that, right? You've got to partner with Him. He's in you to partner with Him to say, hey, help me, Lord, to walk this out. Help me to not let this thing be the narrator of my words, my actions, and my attitudes, and how I talk and interact with people, even the ones who may have hurt me. Help me to love them the way that you love them. I don't know how to love them yet like that. So every day, teach me how to love them the way Christ loves them. And so that's how we have to start thinking. Last week, we talked about thinking higher, thinking bigger, expanding. And sometimes, even in these emotional spaces, we have to do that in this space too. We have to think higher. We have to think beyond ourselves, beyond our feelings and our emotions. And we have to think bigger in a way in which we can allow Christ to do the work in us. And so it's thinking higher, it's thinking Christ-like, and Christ-like is just so much bigger than us, right? And so it's every day being in that spiritual gym, exercising that. So it's work, it is, but it's really good work. I encourage you, Angela, to take the Forgiveness to Freedom class for the ladies at the BALM. It's an excellent class. In fact, I think last night was the end of the 8 weeks, so there should be one starting soon. It's excellent. It's an excellent class, and so if you want to walk through it, you have a great resource right there. It's only $50, I think. Yeah, it's only $50 a week for that class for 8 weeks, but it is a tremendous class. And other people in there are walking through unforgiveness, abandonment issues, forgiveness issues as well, just like you. So hopefully that helps. I don't even know if you wanted an answer, Angela. I just saw the comment and started talking. So hopefully that helps you, and hopefully that helps others. All right, let's see. Not DFW, but I'll pop up from Houston. Okay, Pax, you're in Houston. Somebody, Crispy, you are amazing. She said she will drive. I live in Wisconsin, but if I have some notice in this ticker, will get, God willing, you'd be on the road. Wow, Creative Heart, thank you so much. Let me see. Infinite, I think is highlighted. Infinite and hyphy wifey. Infinite and hyphy wifey Jones. Okay, honey. What is considered a true testimony, and do people only get one? How do you decide what is important to share? I feel like my whole life is one. And how do I pick kind of compressed? I hope you understand. Okay. What is considered a true testimony? Honey, you living and breathing. Everything anything can be a true testimony. And what I mean by that is truly, we are here today. We are a living testimony that we are still breathing. Anything could have happened last night and none of us could have been here. Anything. So we have to thank God every day when we wake up that we have breath in our body. I do not take for granted every day that I'm living and breathing, right? If you are any way at all Baptist, they have two phrases: Lord willing, and if the Lord stay the same, okay, God willing, if I'm here, right? And so, but there's truth to that. I think we assume every day that we have a next breath coming. We thank God when our next breath comes, right? So I think it's just the way we look at it. So on a very foundational and simplistic term, I'm sure you've come through life. There are things and stories that people have that are drastic, right? They've been in prostitution, they've been on drugs, they've been all kinds of things, really dark things that have happened. They have been robbed or whatever, abused in any kind of way. People have like really intense testimonies at times. And then there are other times where people have testimonies where it may not be that intense. It could be that God kept me. It could be that, yeah, I had the opportunity to go down these roads and these paths, and God helped me. I chose not to. I was tempted to do it, but I chose not to. There are times where we have to admit that sometimes it's like, yeah, you know what? I may have not done these really heinous things or lived or expressed my life in some of these other roads that other people have expressed theirs, but maybe I was jealous. Maybe I've lived a very jealous life or very insecure life my whole life. And God had to work through that with me. Maybe your testimony could be like, you know what? I'm prideful and I always think I know everything. And so I don't make what I think are bad decisions because I make good decisions, right? And so sometimes we take pride in the decisions that we make. And so now we have an ego that's larger than life, which sometimes knocks other people over. The pride of life, thinking that we've done everything right, sometimes knocks us over. So I don't know what the testimony necessarily is, but what I do know is there's a lot of things in our life that we can testify about and just general be thankful about. Sometimes our testimony is just us being thankful. So I want to make sure that in I'm answering this, I don't want you to feel like a true testimony has to be something so sensational that you just did all this crazy stuff in life and then God delivered you from that. Like there are those, right? There are those. Or you've been in terrible, crazy accidents and God brought you back and God, I was in the hospital almost nearly my deathbed, but God restored me. Like, yeah, there are those amazing stories. And there are those stories that may not be physically drastic, but they're emotionally or spiritually drastic. And so all those things are things to share. The Bible says that they overcame, who's they? People. They overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So sometimes your story may not be for everybody, but it is for somebody, right? And I don't want you to think that whatever your story is, you may think it's insignificant, and that may be just what somebody needs to hear. So I don't want you to diminish that. And do people, you said, and do people only get one? No, your whole life is your testimony. Your whole life is your story. And how do you decide what is important to share? Okay, that's what you said. How do you decide what is important to share? Whatever you feel like the Lord is putting on your heart. And oftentimes, if you're being vulnerable and transparent, if it is a place and space that it's helpful, read the room, what's going on in the room, read the person, what's the context in which you're talking about. And so that's how you can share just based on what's going on at the time and what you feel is what I'm sharing going to be helpful. Holy Spirit, are you prompting me to share this part of my story right now? Sometimes we hold back parts of our story because we don't think it's helpful. And oftentimes that's the thing that it's super helpful for others. So it just depends. And I don't know what your story is, Infinite, but I'm sure that you have something to say regardless. As long as you've lived through it and you've learned through it, you've experienced through it, then you have something to say. Okay, let me see. What's that? Kia liked asking for permission, or y'all discussing expenses? Oh, they were chatting back and forth. Okay. Good afternoon, TT Juju. Do you offer mentorship for certified alcohol and substance abuse counselors and certified peer specialists? Do you offer mentorship for certified alcohol, substance abuse? So in the mentoring platform, are you asking that within the mentoring platform? Do we offer substance abuse counselors and certified? So we, in the mentoring platform, I don't have a group for that yet. In our BALM Counseling Center, we do have trainings that are coming up in January and March that we do have training sessions from our trainers. So I have, I think, the most amazing trainers. They're trauma clinicians. They're certified. They have all the PhDs and all the certifications that you can think of. And they do all of our trainings for the clinicians. And we have peer support groups that we do have for our clinicians that are on board with us at the BALM. And in January or coming up, we will have peer clinician support groups. I think they're going to be opening it up for other clinicians and counselors. So that comes in September. So I know, so if that's what you're asking, I just want to make sure I'm being clear. So as far as mentorship and the mentorship platform, I don't have a group for that yet. And if you want one, I think we can probably get that going in the mentorship for the BALM counseling. Like I said, in January, we will have our trainings. We have one for sure starting in March, April, and we'll have some trainings coming up super soon and for some peer for what you're asking for clinicians and certified counselors. Man, I am getting tongue tied today. Okay, I hope that helped, and let me know if I need to clarify that for you. Okay, they're scrolling fast so that I could try to catch these. They're looking to see. Um, Calvin Williams, hi, my Jew. Calvin says, hi, Jew. He didn't say hi, my Jew. He said, hi, Jew. I mixed up. Hi, Jew. My therapist ghosted me after a few sessions, so now I'm looking for another therapist in my area. Do you know of any therapists in the Savannah, Georgia area? Or are online therapists better? Are online therapists better? So sometimes, Calvin, I'm sorry to hear that your therapist ghosted you. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Um, I know for myself, for the BALM counseling, we are still onboarding therapists because we get a lot of requests for those that are in Georgia. I don't know. Um, we're onboarding. And be honest with you, I am looking for qualified therapists in Georgia myself because we have a lot of requests for therapists in Georgia. I am going to tell you, I'm very picky who comes on our platform because I know that a lot of times, thank you so much, P. Wash, for your donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know that what do you call it? In Georgia, oh, I'm very particular. And so I'm just like a mother hen sometimes where I just want to make sure that you guys are good. And so the vetting process is long, and it's long on purpose because I'm trying to make sure that I have the best therapists that have a heart for God, but have a heart for people. So that I know that, and also know their craft, that they're going to be able to make sure that they give you good counseling and therapists as you need. I also have really great counselors and life coaches that are not licensed therapists on our platform as well. And they're also really good about what they do. They cannot diagnose you. They will not diagnose you, but they will help you out as well. So a lot of people also see our life coaches that are on the platform that have gotten some therapy training for sure through with our counselor, with our trainers. And if there's something, if you start experiencing or noticing or if they start noticing advanced work that you may need done, then they will tell you, hey, we're going to refer you to another one of our to one of our licensed therapists that are online. So I tell people all the time, I tell our life coaches and our counselors, do not feel like you have to know everything, right? You are not going to diagnose. That's what we have our licensed therapists for. But licensed therapists can only practice in the state that they are licensed in. And so, yeah, I'm looking for one in Georgia because we just have so many requests for Georgia. We have California, Nevada, North and South Carolina. We have a lot in North and South Carolina, Arizona. Where else? Did I say California, Nevada, Texas? So yeah, and we're still onboarding the therapist. So we're still onboarding, but I'm just trying to make sure that they are good, making sure there's nothing against them, and that we just try to provide really good therapists for you as best as we can. And they can only help you based on what you give them as well. So, but in person is good. What we do is online. We're only in online, but definitely in person is great. If I find a good therapist in Georgia that is in person, I will not hesitate to let you know. I just won't. And I wouldn't mind if I can get one. I'll remember Calvin Williams, and maybe we can even note it. And I won't hesitate to come back and try to find you. This is our post Thanksgiving note. I'm making a mental note, post Thanksgiving note for Calvin Williams to find him a therapist in Georgia. See, when you give me a task, it's gonna, I'm gonna want to do it. So I'll do my best, Calvin. Thank you so much. Um, I'm just frustrated. Hold on, let me see. Hi, Drew. I'm frustrated and tired. Hope is hard right now. How do you lament? How do you lament? Well, Andrea Das, hi. She said, hi, Jew. I'm just frustrated and tired. Hope is hard right now. How do you lament well? So, Andrea, is that all she said? Did she say anything else? Okay. So, I want you to know that um, lamenting is okay, right? And that is a really great question on how to lament well. Lamenting well is just lamenting in a healthy way. It's like grieving in a healthy way. You can grieve in an unhealthy way, and mentally, this is unhealthy what I'm doing. We can lament the season that we're in, right? So I don't know what's happening right now with you, Andrea. If you want to share more, you can. And I'm sorry that you're frustrated and tired. I want to say that hope is hard and it's not impossible, right? I'm dealing with a couple right now that in their situation, for them, hope is extremely hard. It's to them, it seems like impossible. And we are walking through that it's not impossible, but we're admitting that it is hard. Lamenting well, I think you're smart enough to see that you can lament well. So you seem very wise to even make that statement. So I want to encourage you, Andrea, to surround yourself with things that are positive. Surround yourself with things that add value to your life. Surround yourself with things, hobbies or interests that make you feel good and comforted in a healthy way. And as you lament and as you cry, that's okay to do. And also have something on the other end to balance you out. Okay? So cry, which is good to lament, and be sad. That is okay. Don't stay there. Make sure you have a healthy practice. The lamenting well is having a healthy balance of getting it out and then moving it on. And then if it comes up again, that's okay. Get it out, cry, be upset, and then get that out and then find something healthy to do. That's how you lament well. The season will pass. It won't always remain. That's one thing I do know. It seems like oftentimes you're in a long lamenting season for eternity, but it won't last forever. Then I want you to have faith in God, even if you don't have faith in the situation or the scenario. Maybe have faith in God. Make sure you're praying. Make sure you're reading your Bible. Surround yourself with worship music, things that are going to build your spirit up. And again, practical things. Have things in your life that add value to you. So what makes you happy? Do you have a hobby? Do you draw? Do you color? Do you sing? Do those things. And that's how you lament well, in my opinion. Okay? What was that right above? I think there's a Lynn. Angela, thank you. I don't want it to have power over me. Good job, honey. I know I don't want it to have power over you either. Lynn, hi, Juliet. What is your definition of verbal abuse and where do you draw the line in arguments? I find it hard to recover when my partner says things that I can't forget. I worry I'm too sensitive. Joel, see if Lynn says anything more. Okay. Well, verbal abuse is gaslighting. It could be a lot of things. Cursing you out, saying derogatory things, berating you, belittling you, calling you out your name, just anything that is bringing you down verbally and emotionally. That's just verbal abuse. I find it hard to recover. My partner says things you can't forget. So I don't know what the things he's saying to see if you're too sensitive. So I don't know if you feel like sharing, Lynn, this is definitely a safe space. The Jew crew is safe. But if you are open to sharing maybe some of the words he has said to you, um, I can say, hey, well, maybe that's not, maybe you could be sensitive there. But I just think anything out of your name, anything derogatory, whoa, that's verbal abuse. If you're not okay with it, sometimes couples. So here's the thing. Sometimes couples talk to each other harshly, and they joke about it, right? Tim and I don't do that. So to be honest with you, a lot of couples that we hear oftentimes that the way they talk to each other, we just be like, ugh, oh, that hurt, oh, that stung. So maybe we're too sensitive, right? Because we don't talk down to each other at all. We're so respectful of each other. Even if we have a difference, we're just respectful. So I don't say anything to him derogatory, or anything about him. I don't talk down to him. I don't call him anything less than what he is. Our words to each other are affirming. Our words to each other are life-giving. Our words to each other build up. Our words to each other are filled with gratitude and love. Even if we're in discussions or even heated spiritual debates, it's still nothing that is talking down to him ever. And he doesn't talk down to me, no matter how mad we get, right? So here's the thing. You can be angry and sin not. You can be angry and still be respectful. That's just the truth. You can be angry and still be in control. I tell people all the time, you are not possessed. You are not possessed by Satan himself. You have control. You have control. You don't want to exercise control. You don't want to exercise discipline over your tongue, but you have it. There's nobody putting a gun to your head making you say anything. There's nobody taking their hand and flapping your tongue, telling you that you can't say. You actually have control over your words. In the moment of passion and heated argument, you are choosing not to say the kindest things, because in that moment you are wanting to get out and you're wanting to hurt the person, or you're wanting them to feel what you feel, if we're really being honest. But you have control. You don't actually have to say the things, if they're negative and derogatory, that you are saying. And so when it comes to heated arguments and debates, you can still be respectful. Maturity and exercise and practicing what you are saying, and not letting yourself get in the way, not letting everything about you dictate this conversation. Those are the things that we do have control over. We just have to be honest that you want your way in that moment. In the argument, you want to win it. You want to be heard, and in a negative way, you're going to say anything so that you can have the final blow, right? That's verbal abuse. That's my definition. And I won't say all of it is verbal abuse. It depends on what you're saying, but a lot of times I hear couples go at it. Oh, I hear people go at it, and we're just like, ooh, it pains us. And sometimes we will come back home and be like, gosh, did you hear what they said and how they were talking to each other? I mean, we're scratching our heads like, I would never do that to you. I would never say that to you, no matter how angry I get. I love you and respect you enough to know I could be mad with you and not go off the hinges and lose my words talking to you. And so again, when I see people doing that, I know it's their selfishness getting in the way, wanting to have the last say and wanting you to feel what they're saying. It's very selfish. So I don't know if you're too sensitive, because it just seems like if they're being derogatory and calling you out your name, like, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. I wouldn't like it. So I hope that helps. But you got to draw boundaries too. You got to have healthy boundaries with people, even your spouse. Have healthy boundaries. I'll give you a simple tool for you married people or people in relationship. I'll give you a simple tool that I do, that I tell married couples all the time. I don't do them all the time anymore. That's why I have the mentoring platform, because we have marriage couples in there, marriage mediators in there. we have it because I get so many requests to do marriage counseling. And there's just so many. I can't do everybody's marriage counseling. It has to be such a dire, you know, uh, very, very, very extreme case. But in past times when I was doing the very serious ones, I give couples a simple tool. Most of the times they can't do it. It's the simplest homework, and that is, and you can do it. I just take my hands and I teach them this, and we just go like this. That means if we're in a conversation, I'm talking to you now, my voice gets louder than how it is now. I may not be able to hear you anymore. Now you're in argument phase. And if your tone is going above this and you yelling at me, yeah, I can't hear you no more because you're just trying to get your point across. And now I can't hear you. And I really want to have a discussion with you. So what I teach these couples is you don't get to be raising your voice to each other. You don't get to be disrespecting each other in your tone. You're going to do this. You don't have to say any words. You're just going to do this motion. That means I'm wanting to hear what you say. Um, I want to have a decent conversation. Your tone raised, your attitude raised. Now I can't hear you anymore. I don't want to shut down. I want to be engaged, but I find myself turning away. So I'm doing this to say, please bring it down, or I'm just going to do this motion to say, please adjust. Now, maturity says for the other person, this is what I teach in marriage counseling. For the other person, when they see this hand movement, because I would have taught the couples, the individuals this, when they see this hand movement, you don't get to take offense and you don't get to be like, don't do that hand motion with me. I'm not raising my voice, right? That's often what it is. Maturity says, okay, I see you doing this. Am I raising my voice? I apologize. I don't mean to. How am I landing on you? How am I coming across to you? Because I'm trying to convey my thoughts, but I don't want you to shut down. So can you please tell me when you're doing this right now, how am I coming across so that I can readjust? Okay, so that's maturity, and this is what I teach and what I've taught in the marriage counseling, and just for couples. This is such a simple tool, and many of them can't do the easiest homework because they want to say, "I'm not yelling," I'm just talking to you normal. Why can't you understand? And so they can't do the simple things. That means they're not ready. They're not ready to do their work. But maturity says you guys can have this conversation and say, okay, I see you doing this. I know that means I need to either bring my tone down or whatever. Please tell me, how am I coming across to you? And if we could have more dialogue like that, guys, we would have so many more healthier relationships, friendships, workships, marital relationships by simple things. But we just get so offended every 2 seconds, every little thing. Everybody's so offended by everything we say. And we're so reactionary and we just responded. And it's like, guys, stop assuming and just ask. Just ask for clarity. And we can actually have better relationships. So I draw the line. Like, we do this and we bring it down. That's how Tim and I don't argue anymore. We haven't had an argument in years, but that's because we've put this in practice. Now, mind you, I've been married for 25 years now. I've been with him 26 years. So we have done work. We have done tons of work. And so we're at a stage now where we don't even need to do this. We don't even talk to each other crazy to even need to do that. But many couples do. And we've just gotten to that point. But there were times that we were there, for sure. But putting things in place, making sure you know your worth, even in your marriage, to put up healthy boundaries. Hey, listen, when you say these words to me, I think I'm still answering Lynn's question. When you say these words to me, this is how it makes me feel. Can you please not talk to me like that and rephrase what you're trying to say? I want to hear what you're saying. But when you start talking down to me or berating me or calling me out of my name, then I just don't hear you anymore. So in order for me to hear and receive what you're saying, please put it to me in another way. That's just mature conversations. And you get to see where maturity is in the individual. And that's you putting up boundaries for yourself. Don't take it. Maybe just say, okay, you know what? I see you're not respecting my boundaries. So right now I'm going to walk away because I don't want to hear you talking to me crazy. So when we can talk on a mature level, I would love for us to have this conversation. Right. So it would seem like easier said than done, but that's just maturity and that's healthy boundaries, guys. And sometimes, even in marriage, we have to put up healthy boundaries. Okay. Make sure you value you first. You have to value you first. And then you will teach other people how to value you. Okay. All right. Lynn, I think that was a very long answer. Hopefully that helped more than just Lynn and anybody in any sort of ship, relationship, friendship, workship. I'm newly married. Okay, I just want to say this. It is 1:57, and I know we are going longer today. I'm doing that purposely because I know that we're not going to be here next week, but we have just a couple more minutes. I'll answer this one last question, okay? Because it'll be 2 hours, guys. But I know at first we were talking about funerals, and if you just coming in late, I want to. If you're just coming in late, we were laughing about it earlier. We had a lot of fun when we started talking. But Doc Belogum, I'm newly married and would like to start couples therapy, but my husband is against it. He thinks we don't need a third party to work out our issues, but sometimes we get nowhere. Any advice? Hi, Doc. Yes, absolutely. You need a third party to work out the issues because if you could work it out yourself, you wouldn't have the issue. Oftentimes, it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. So definitely no slight to the men because I know there's many men that get counseling and do their work. Sometimes, um, um, and what that's what I'm saying. It's not uncommon for the man, the male spouse in the relationship to not want to go to counseling or premarital because it's hard for them to admit that they need help. And so that's really the issue right there. It's hard for them to want to admit, oh, I got this. They want to say that they got it. And a lot of times that's just pride that's being masked. And so, yeah, here's a way that you can phrase it and say, honey, listen, I know that you love me and I know that you respect me. And you can say, in my opinion and in my heart, I really feel that we could use some additional help, a third party, a mediator to help us. Would you be opposed? Would it be impossible for us to go to marriage counseling? If it were to make me happy, would you please come and go with me to make my heart be comforted? Put it on you, right? Put it on you and then see if he comes. Because the goal is to just get him in there. And sometimes, you know, uh, sometimes when the spouse is either hard headed or unwilling, you have to use terms that they can hear you say. Would it be impossible? And if they say, well, no, it's not impossible. Or if you say, please, I know that you love and respect me. Can we go together? If they're just completely still opposed to that, then I definitely think you need to say, well, I think we do need, because that's the issue now. You know, you're not even respecting that I would love for us to go. I feel like there is an issue because we can't get anywhere. I feel like maybe our communication is off. So I don't know if you had any premarital, but yeah, and you're already newlywed. So I would really suggest that you say, would it be impossible? And if you love and respect my position as well, I would love for us to go together. So put that on him. Say, hey, I'll find the therapist. I'll find the counselor. I just need you to show up. I just want us to get help and see if he goes for it. And then come back and give us the follow up to see what happens. But we do have early marrieds on the BALM. We have early married couples counseling on there. It's a support group for premaritals and early marrieds. So they're really, really great. They were former pastors, and they do an awesome early married group. So if you want to check them out, you can. That's Nikki and Martez Moore on our platform. And you don't have to go to the BALM. You really don't. You can go to anywhere. But I do suggest definitely you get some postmarital and let him know, hey, this is just a checkup. This is just a follow up. Okay. Okay, guys, listen. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And I see there's so many things out here. They're just scrolling now for me to see all the comments. Oh, P. Wash. Hi, P. Wash. Thank you. Hi, Drew, married 25 years. That's a long time. Infidelity throughout. Husband is backslidden. He is the primary provider. He was in a relationship for 7 years. He says, I think Ariel is for relationship. I'm sorry, guys, if you see me leaning over, it's just because my camera is in the way. And so I am just trying to read it. So that's all that is. He says, because of money, I saw a video of their intimacy and stopped contributing. Whoa. All right, let me read that again. Hi, Jew, married 25 years, infidelity throughout. Husband is backslidden. He is the primary provider. He was in I'm thinking relationship for 7 years. He says because of money. So he was in a relationship for 7 years because of money. And then I saw a video of their intimacy and stopped contributing. Oh, okay. They did a follow up. Okay. Jew, I'm walking in disobedience or not walking in submission. Please know he is involved again for a year, and he says, for the same reason, I'm not perfect, but has remained faithful with no intimacy. Okay, P. Wash, I want to make sure that I am understanding correctly. So I'm gonna re-say this to you, and then I want you to put in like in the chat to make sure, like give me a thumbs up or a yes that I'm understanding this right, or no, I've missed something, okay? So what I think I'm hearing you say is your husband is or has been having an affair or has been cheating. There's been infidelity throughout the entire marriage. And he says he's been in the relation, he's the primary provider. I think I'm missing the part of he says because of money. So you're saying he's cheating because of money? And then you saw a video of their infidelity together? And then so that now you stopped contributing financially to the relationship because, sorry, I'm doing this because I am air scrolling the chat, guys. You can't see it on my end, but I'm air scrolling the chat. Okay. And then now you're saying, am I walking in disobedience or submission because, are you saying, are you walking in disobedience or submission because you stopped contributing to the relationship? Because now he's involved again in another relationship for the same reason. And then you're saying you're not perfect, but you have remained faithful. So you haven't been cheating, but he has. So this is more of a financial commitment. So for clarity, he's cheating. You stop committing financially to the relationship, to the marriage, and he's cheating again because you stopped financially. Okay. Please let me know if okay, good thumbs up. Okay. And then you're wanting to know, are you in the wrong for stopping contributing to the marriage? Okay. Thank you. I'm glad I got that. Okay. I'm glad I got that right. So that's your husband. Okay. So P. Wash, this is a very interesting question, and I'll tell you why. I'm curious to know if for 25 years you've been married and then you've been in this relationship and you know he hasn't been faithful to you. Why are you still married to him? And I think, and I'm asking that too because he's unfaithful. One thing that's the biggest thing right there, that he's been unfaithful to you. And then two, he could be bringing home some sort of disease to you or anything. Like If he's just sleeping around, he's putting your life in danger, especially in 2024. He's putting your life in danger no matter what year it is. But the way 24 is set up, okay? Why would you still remain married to him, but then are only, and I'm really just asking, and then why only be concerned about contributing financially? Like, why would the financials be a thing? Are you afraid to leave? Do you mind me asking you that? Are you afraid to um, walk away? Let me know if you're able to to answer, because whether it's the fact that you're staying, to me, the finances aren't even really the issue. The issue is what's inside of you that you're what's making you stay in a what seems very toxic, and your husband's just out there sleeping around. What's keeping you there? Because you're not safe. So please let me know in the chat if you can, because I really am curious. Because to me, the finances isn't, of course, you wouldn't contribute financially to the relationship. He shouldn't be cheating. And who knows how you are. Again, I don't know the whole story, right? But I want to help you if I can. But I just, uh, maybe you could add a little bit more context. But I really want to know where your mindset is, where your thought process is. And I'm here to wait. I am numb and yes. I'm so sorry, P Wash. I am you are numb, and that's why you haven't made that big decision. Is that right? You just you don't even know how to do it. That's what I'm taking from that answer. You don't even know how to do. I mean, the fact that you just said you are numb and yes, that just breaks my heart. I mean, that I just want to be very sensitive how I answer you, but would you tell me, is that why you haven't left? Is because you feel numb, you don't know what to do? I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for her to respond, cuz I'm all in this now. I know I had to go, but then P Wash came in there. I work and know that I can leave. Just afraid. Yeah. Okay. Why are you scared? What do you are you It's hard. Do you have children? Do you have children with him? Okay. Are they older? Are they younger kids, or are they older children? Like they are they older than 18, or are they younger, maybe toddlers, 10, 9, 8, 13, younger younger teens and kids, or are they sort of, excuse me, getting older? Because I don't think she determined when. And then, yeah, okay, yes and yes. Okay, so so you've got the kids. Yes, I can't tell if they're older or younger. Um, are you afraid to leave because of the kids? Are you afraid to leave that you won't be able to financially take care of yourself and them? Are you afraid that you are going to uh, are you afraid that you are going to you have two boys, okay? Are you afraid that you're going to lose the house or whatever you have, maybe the resources? Are you afraid that you won't have anywhere to go? Can you tell me what makes you fearful? All right, I'm waiting for you, Pax. I mean, not Pax, P Wash. This is my youngest. Okay, senior high school year. Okay. Um, all right, so um, is he. So let me ask you this question. Do you want to stay with him? And you're afraid because of your son, your boys, they're in high school. Okay, so that's a pivotal year. Do they probably love their father? Do they love their father? See, there's so many things. I mean, we could be here all day because now I'm all in. I'm now starting to eat this hot dog that's been sitting here with this coleslaw. Now I need a glass of wine to go with this. I'm all in this thing with you, P Wash. Um, and Calvin, because you know what? I'm like my marriage counseling hat is turned on, but it's more feeling like I failed. Ah, there it is. Okay. Okay. Honey, you didn't fail. Um, I've said this before. Um, God's word won't return void. When God does something, he is going to do it. He is going to do it. Sometimes we our words return void. That's what I want to say. Um, God's word doesn't return void, but ours do. And in our marriage, in our commitments, we say and do things that we're going to do. We're going to love and live till death do us part, in sickness and in health, better or for worse. But that means more so of in our actions and what we're doing that we are actually striving to do right and live life together. Um, and we are actually striving to work this out, right? Till death to us part. We're going to work this out together. We're both doing our work. But when you're going against your word and your commitment and there's manipulation in there and gaslighting, that's not on you, honey. And again, I know you said you weren't perfect, so I'm not saying nobody's perfect, but we strive to do our best. When one party is out there just going rogue and infidelity and cheating and then doing videos and all this kind of stuff, there's no honor in that. And that doesn't have anything to do with you. You could have been you could have been P Wash, a challenging wife where maybe you feel like you didn't do anything good. Maybe you never communicated with your husband. Maybe let's say you never did anything good in which you thought you should be doing good. And that still would never give him right to go cheat on you. That still doesn't give permission to go out and do all the things that he's doing. Like, no, that has nothing. I can't imagine that um, you are a bad wife or a bad mom. Absolutely not. The fact that you are like, am I submitting or am I in disobedience to God because I stopped contributing financially? Honey, that alone let me know the character that you have. There's nothing bad about you there. You have not failed. Honey, you have not failed at all. It seems like your heart is just so pure and you have not cheated, but I'm sure you have felt bad. I'm sure that you have had probably tons of opportunities to leave. You leaving, honey, is not you failing. It is you saving your life. If you were to leave, you are keeping yourself healthy. Um, if this has been going on for years, I'm about to act. I'm like, this does need. I almost wish this needs to be a phone call. There's so many things I do want to ask you, but P Wash, I am going to always vote for the underdog, and I'm never gonna vote for the gaslighter and the manipulator ever. And you can't tell me you've been in an unhealthy, traumatic marriage for 25 years with years of infidelity and seeing a video of your life, of your husband and another woman or whoever he was with. Honey, no. What could I do to encourage you to get help for you and your boy and your kids? Because I want you to know that God is not going to be displeased with you if you have to make a move. God is not going to be displeased with you if you let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Like he is not going to be displeased with you if you see your way out. I tell you that right now, he will not be. He loves and cares about you. He cares about you. And I've said this before on another live. God does not usurp the institution of marriage more than the people in it. Okay? God does not value the institution, the unit of marriage, the entity of marriage more than the persons and the individuals in it. If your spouse has abandoned you and left you for this other woman and is mistreating and manipulating, that is not godly. That is not how God intended. That is not what he wanted this marriage to be at all. He cares about you. He cares about you and he wants you to be safe. And he does not want you to remain in this unhealthy marriage to think that it's giving him glory, because it's not giving him glory. He's not getting any glory out of this marriage with these actions going on like this at all. The Bible talks about husbands are supposed to give themselves as Christ gave himself to the church. He is supposed to love their wife and give himself for her. That's not giving. That's not giving himself. He giving himself in another way, not in the right way. The giving of himself is sacrificial biblically. It's sacrificial. There's no sacrifice. What you're telling me is he's blaming you for now not contributing again financially. So now I'm going to cheat some more because now I've cheated before and now I may have stopped cheating for a minute. Now I'm going to cheat again because now you're not giving any money. Oh, no. No, ma'am. There's no honor in that. God is not in that at all. He's not in it. So I want you to know, if you make that decision, God is not going to be upset with you. I can't, there's nothing in me that would believe that at all. You would have not failed at all. You staying actually teaches your kids how women should be treated or how to treat you. Okay? You are not failing. I think you would feel more like you're failing yourself if you stay. You're not doing any justice for your life if you stay. Okay? There are some instances. I'm always here. I'm a big advocate for marriage, and I want marriages to be restored, and I want marriages to be healed. And then there are some marriages that are like, yeah, no, this isn't godly. Okay, so I want you to know, P. Wash, like this can't, like, I need you to be great. God loves you and doesn't want you in anything that's going to keep you or your kids in danger. I want you to get this. I want you to get this and know that you are valued and loved. God loves you so much, and he's not displeased with you. He's not mad at you. He is pleased with you. And he's going to honor you for your transparency. I promise you, he's going to honor you for your bravery. But I encourage you for sure to seek marriage counseling for sure. And be safe for you and your kids. And I want to pray that P-Wash, you find value in you to know that you don't deserve that. You don't deserve to be treated that way. You don't deserve to be talked to that way. You don't deserve that type of treatment. And that is not what marriage is about. And that is not how marriage was intended. And your spouse has abandoned you. That is the truth. So you got to do what you got to do. And I hope you do what you should do. I hope you do what is best for you and your kids. And your kids will be okay. And you'll be okay. And God is going to honor you. God is going to honor you, honey. And he loves you. And I love you. And everybody in this chat loves you and is rooting for you, girl. Okay? You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. And you are not the first person to go through this either. And I know it's fearful because you shouldn't even be in this situation in the first place. And I know it's fearful. But I promise you, if you have a little faith, God is not going to let you down. He's not going to let you down. He will be right there to carry you through. He will be right there to carry you through. That's what I do know. So please get the resources. Please get the help that you need. Please get your community. Please surround yourself with people that are going to support you. I don't know if you have family. I don't know if you have friends. But what I do know is that you need to be safe and you need to be not there. Okay. I love you, P-Wash. I hope you feel the love. I hope you are surrounded by the Jew crew and this team. They're awesome. You are welcome, guys. I love you. I love you guys so much. Thank you, P-Wash. I just want to say thank you for being very transparent with all of us in here. And I'm sure that it is you're not the only one. Calvin, I think the chat is moving, but I think Calvin, you were saying you guys are kind of in the same position and it's tough. Do the best counseling that you can. Get the counseling for yourself. Even if they don't want to go, get it for you first, okay, to make sure you guys are making the right decision. But we want to make sure God is in it. But I'm telling you, honey, God is with you. And God is not going to honor. God is not honoring what your husband is doing. That I know. But he will honor your steps. And your husband only has favor on his life because you were there. So he needs you to stay, but you don't need him to stay. You don't need him. You don't need him in God's eyes. God is with you. I love you guys. You guys are the best crew ever. I can't thank you enough for being with me and spending lunch and spending Fridays. And we spent extra time today because I know we won't be there. We won't be there next week. I want you guys to have the best holiday. I hope I see you guys on the Mentor platform. Get in that BALM counseling if you want. Get in any counseling. Just get what you need. I love you guys so much. I will see you in 2 weeks. And you guys be great. Be kind to each other. Be nice to each other. And go love on each other in the Discord community, okay? All right. Happy holidays, guys. See you in a couple weeks, okay? Eat good turkey, and we're going to have fluffy fall. Bye.